We'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional territories of the peoples of Treaty 7. This includes the Siksika, Kainai, Piikani, Stoney Nakoda nations, comprised of the Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Goodstoney First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina Nation. We also recognize the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, whose histories, cultures, and contributions continue to enrich this land. We honor the enduring connection that Indigenous peoples have to these lands and waters, and we recognize their stewardship, resilience, and ongoing contributions to our communities. We are grateful for the opportunity to live, work, and learn on this land, and we are committed to fostering respect, understanding, and meaningful reconciliation.
Okay. My name is Chad Chifu, and I'm from the Kainai First Nation. Just very honored to come out here and do the land acknowledgement for this tournament. My Blackfoot name is Oto Kitapi, meaning circle rider. Truly believe that everything has a purpose in this game that we're watching this week has a purpose as well. First of all, I just want to acknowledge that we are on the land of my ancestors, the Siksika Chitapi, the Chitapi, the Blackfoot speaking people. We've roamed this area since time immemorial, chasing buffaloes and living here, and we still call this place home today. It also is situated on the Treaty 7 territory, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani, also the Tsuut'ina, and the Minitini, Stoney Nakoda nations, also the Métis. So when we talk about land acknowledgement, I think there's something else very important that we should be acknowledging, and it's the lacrosse stick, the traditional lacrosse stick. If it wasn't for the lacrosse stick, we wouldn't even be here today or playing this game. So the game that, just a reminder to acknowledge this game that you're playing, it's also known as the Creator's game. Then it's also known as the medicine game. And I truly believe that's why I'm here today, is because of the good medicine that it has brought me. I want to acknowledge that this game is fast and it is rough and it is very competitive, and there's a reason for it and there's a purpose for it, because if you're not giving it your all, you are disrespecting the Creator. It's the bat to be open. Not only are you disrespecting the Creator, but you're disrespecting the fans and the people that support you. But one thing I encourage that everybody to do is to play this game with a good heart. No hate, no anger, but with a good heart and the way it's supposed to be played, respected. After the game, shake your opponent's hand, because you're playing more than a game, you're being blessed at the same time. Little do you know, when you're playing this game, the Creator's watching, you're entertaining the Creator, and in return, you get blessed. And I feel that's why I'm here today, because this is what brings me back to this game. As I was always told by the elders, pray aggressive, pray aggressively. This is almost like a ceremony. Little do we know. So I encourage all you players to play aggressively, but be respectful. Let's finish off these next 2 days. Have fun, enjoy it. Represent your countries, represent your communities, represent your families to the best you can. Right? Have good sportsmanship. Once again, go all out and give us a good show. Thank you very much.
Okay, Nitsu Koam. Welcome all my relations. I'm very honored to be here this evening to support this box lacrosse tournament, and it's an honor for me to be asked to say prayers for all of the players, the coaches, the managers, staff, families from all four directions as you gather. And I'd like to acknowledge the USA, Poland, Australia, Team Canada, and of course our own. I offer my prayers. Ayo apis to Tokyo. Ayo anapin na to so kipita kyo at sak kumuy tapio. Ana kanato tapio akan kanokita pa tapio akan nokatakwe no at sak kuy kinoksin skat sa matupin na. Ay nakanasin na nisitapi min na nakanitsu ko at kanituksis ko at ika yusis tapo matapo nokatakwe kinokaten skat sa matupin. Tapi tam sumokya kuko sa mo ikipyo tuoya. Numako kita peta sa mo te utestu se pa ma komutsis. O kinskipyo makaya skipyawan ni tsakita masko tkaya. O kinakatsistikuyak itsistikumato pa kinakanasokapi. Istumskohso pa kanakanasoka pi estamatso ki kaksinno ni tsikina pi mukamo ta pi kanasoka pi kanaskunata pi o kinokatakwe sita ko kapo atu isan mo ay noko sita ko kapo atu iskatomat mo ay umakit sawakan si snitsis tikits o kaska ko kitay tabsya. And then kanista po kamana kanukat atakwe. O kaya ko kapoksis kumae kanata pi ano kita petapi. Hindi kakamutan ni stawat sama akse tapi sin kikoy tapi sin aho.
Anya, let's play.
All right, we are almost officially ready to go here at the IIJL 2026 World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Finishing us off here on day 5, the final round robin game between Haudenosaunee and Australia. A chance at the bronze medal is on the line here. Both the U.S. and Canada have been locked in officially at this point for the gold medal. The bronze still up in the air. If things were to end right now before this game even started, it'd be Haudenosaunee and Poland, Australia, with a chance to shake things up. If Australia wins this game, all three of Haudenosaunee, Poland, and Australia would finish tied at 3 points. And at that point, it would go to head-to-head to decide it. As we get ready for the opening draw here, it's going to be Georgian on the other side of Carson Isnana. Haudenosaunee not wanting to leave it up to tiebreakers to decide it. They want to finish the conversation right here today. Face off, one along the wall. Australia will be starting with it. They'll be heading towards the Haudenosaunee end. Not able to set that up. Picked off by Dayrider. Dutremont will take it at the right side. He'll end up handing this off to Sands. Down the left side. Mahar Robbins. Into the corner they go. Across the floor, Jonathan. He's going to fire this one on. Good stop by the Australian goaltender, as that's going to get picked back up by Nichols. It's Lucas Deshawn in between the pipes for Australia. He played in their most recent game. McGammon getting the pickup. Down the right side, Sands. 15-second shot clock. Will get picked up. Another try by Nichols. It'll go around the glass. Picked up by Knife on the left side. 25 seconds to go. Jonathan down the right. Back up with Sands. Haudenosaunee with a long early offensive possession here on Australia. Knife, long shot, stopped in front by Deshawn. Deshawn down the right side. Australia trying to get a little bit of offense the other way. In between the pipes for Haudenosaunee is Draven Isnana, making his debut here at the World Juniors. Regularly plays for the Queen City Kings of the RMLL Junior B Tier 1 division. Up high. That'll get knocked down the floor. A fast break on the charge. Lucid trying to get something in, but can't get the pickup when he was in front of the goal. They'll have to go to the corner. On the right side, Sands will try and send this one around. It'll bounce its way all the way back to Deshawn off the backboards as the goaltender going down the left side, Canny. That'll miss the stick of Jackson Chloe. Stolen back by Dayrider. On the charge now, Dutremont. He'll have it on the right. Shots 3-0 early here. Australia struggling with the pressure being brought by Haudenosaunee. Jonathan back outside. Sands could have had the shot. It'll end up getting blown down on a minor infraction. Australia taking it back the other way. Honeyfield over the half line. Down the right side. That'll be Luca Dillon. He'll send this one down the left. Back with John Narby. Back up to the top. Fabian Hall. Georgian cross to Narby. Right in front, Dillon. Could not quite get that to go. Looked like he might have been going for a twister right in front. That'll sail across the crease. Picked off. Right as the shot clock expired, Haudenosaunee on the fast break. Isnana will spin with it. Carson Isnana. His pass picked off. Australia heading the other way. Deciding to hold up. As with it there was Isaac Deshawn. Jinsky handing that one off to Jaredjian. Down the left side he goes, sending it all the way to Joe Tanabe. On the right side into the corner, Fabian Hall. Long shot, whistling wide right. Fabian Hall, 4 goals so far on World Juniors. Over and back called on Australia. On the right side, taking a few whacks in the arm. It'll land back up high. Reese Sands walking it in. That pass to Mahar Robbins. He couldn't quite turn with it. It'll land back behind the goal. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Picked back up by Australia. Australia still looking to get their first shot of the game. Back up at the top. Chloe sending it down the left side to Dylan. Narby down the right side, Chinsky. Spivey will fire this one on, blocked in front. Haudenosaunee get the pickup. They'll head the other way. 4.5 minutes gone. Still no score as Haudenosaunee. 3 shots registered. Trying to make it 4 here with offensive possession. Sands crossed the floor to Knife. One-on-one on Deshawn. He'll get a screen from Goodwill. Takes it to the top. Fires it on. Good stop. It's popped up. They're going to send a long pass the other way. Dylan not able to extend and grab that one. This is going to land in the corner. Picked back up. Haudenosaunee on the charge down the right side. Back into the corner, Sands. That's a big open floor hit there as Haudenosaunee will head to the box. I believe it's a hit from behind coming up here. We'll wait for the official call. Up at the top, Luke Dillon. On the right side, Dillon. Back across to Narby. Into the corner, Jaredjian right in front. Hall shoots it, gets his own rebound. He'll score. Australia gets the first. And it's going to be Fabian Hall. His 5th goal so far of World Juniors. A total leading Australia. Jaredjian stepping in across from Knife. That face-off one. Heading back the other way, Haudenosaunee. McAmmond trying to go back down the right. Goodwill off the screen from Nichols. Tries to cut in. Has a chance in on the goaltender. Good stop by Deshawn. Australia looking the other way. They'll pass it over half. Tanabe down the left side. Tanabe switching with Jaredjian. Down the right side, Fabian Hall. Back to the top, Joe Tanabe. Down the left, Jaredjian. Screen from Tanabe. Jaredjian, long shot, turned away. Tanabe nearly had the rebound, couldn't get the pickup. Stolen back by Australia. It's Chinsky taking it back outside. 25-second shot clock. Australia. Hall with it. Tanabe down the left. Jaredjian. Back to Fabian Hall. On the outside, Spivey. Walks in. That's going to get sent wide. Foisey with the turnover. Australia on the outside. 5 seconds. Tanabe couldn't turn with the ball. Heading back the other way, Dutremont not able to grab that pass as it'll land all the way in the corner. Picked up by Stevens for Australia. Down the left side, that pass by Nathan Honeyfield is going to end up landing on Isaac Deshawn. Stick at center for Australia. Down the left side, carried in by Luca Dillon. Dillon to Jaredjian. Oh no, he'll fake this one. Back to the top with Dillon. Jaredjian. Down the right, Spivey. To the top, Jaregian. Winds up, blocked in front by Crowchild. That's going to be a shot clock violation on Australia. They're trying to head back down the floor here. Setting up the offense with the captain. 4 points so far on Reese Sands. World Juniors so far. At the top, Jonathan. Going down the right side. He'll go high off the post, I believe. And back wide. And with that, I believe we're going to head to our first media timeout here. 7:12 to go in the first quarter. 1-0 for Australia after an early goal by Fabian Hall. We'll head to a quick break. You're watching the 2026 World Junior Lacrosse Championship here in Brooks, Alberta. All right, 7:12 to go in the first quarter. Australia up 1-0 early. Haudenosaunee trying to change that here. With the ball in the offensive zone, cutting in is Larock. Couldn't quite get the shot off. It'll bounce right across. Shots are 5-2, favoring Haudenosaunee so far. Australia scoring on just their second try. Dylan down the left side. Danemy back across to Dylan. Up at the top. Down the right, Fabian Hall. Long shot put off the backboards. Lucid the other way. He'll take this one in before sending it right over, as picking that up is Colter Goodwill. Cross the Tayson knife into the corner. Waiting to McCammon. In front, Tayson knife might have had the rebound. Right back out. They're going to end up giving this one back to back to Australia. John Narby. He'll send a pass that's picked off. Isnana in with Nichols. Isnana is going to end up taking it wide. Back up to the top, Sands. Walks in. Fix Deshaun. Takes it on. Deshaun gets the stop. Rebounds there for Nichols. He'll get the pick up. Back across the Sands. One-timer turned away by Deshaun. This one picked up along the wall. Heading back the other way, Mason Chloe's. Chloe's down the left. To the top, Narby. Spivey. Into the corner. Chinsky. Down the left side over to Adam Jaregian. He'll see a lane. Decides to take it. Goes just wide right of the net. The land back at center. 5-second shot clock coming up for Australia. But they won't be able to get this one loose, as it'll get stuck right in front of the Haudenosaunee bench. Heading up the floor. Long shot there from Mahar Robbins. That'll end up turned away. Haudenosaunee picking it up at the top. Jonathan. 5 assists so far for Jonathan. He won't find his first goal there. It looked close. That's back-to-back. Really nice tries for him here in the first quarter. He'll get a third. Good stop by Deshaun. Back up to the top. Jonathan. Long shot, Mahar Robbins. Turned away. Picked up by Deshaun. Up to Billsborough. Billsborough slowing up here at center. Attempting to take this one down the right side. Dylan to Adam Jaregian. Sent off the helm and out. This one picked up on the left side. To the top of the zone. Jaregian over to Dylan. Down the left side. Taking a few whacks, defended by Grochild. Dylan tried to hit. I believe that was Chinsky in front. Couldn't find his stick as Grochild heads the other way. Has an option right in front, doesn't hit him. That was McGammon. McGammon on the right side, he'll call for it. He'll wait. Pass this one down the right. McGammon straight down the middle. Couldn't quite get that to work. Back outside. This one goes off the sideboard. That shot turned away. Shot clock violation. Haudenosaunee having to get back on defense here. Honeyfield at the top. Narby down the left. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 1-0 for Australia. Fabian Hall knocked off his stick. Chance here for Haudenosaunee the other way, but they can't get the pickup. It's over and back on Australia regardless. Haudenosaunee will get the ball. Wasquabish Jonathan down the right side. This one put on. Goodwill ties it at 1. And Colter Goodwill finds his 3rd of the tournament so far. Had a good time here with just 2:36 to go in the first quarter. Tying things right back up with Australia. Jaregian sending this one back for Billsboro, who's going to go to the corner. Nichols quick on the chase. Plays the body. Dijon, the goalie for Australia, gets the pickup. He'll head down the left. Chloe's at the top. Tanabe into the corner. Adam Jaregian. Across the floor to Fabian Hall. Spivey trying to push his way through the zone. Knocked off his stick. Up at the top, heading the other way. Here comes Haudenosaunee. Lucid over half, hands it off to his captain in Sands. Mahar Robin, right in front, Larock. Down the right side, Sands misses on this one. This one, stopped by Sands. Off the crossbar. Sands with another try. Cross to Sands. Puts it off the crossbar again. Both Braden Sands and Reese Sands hitting the crossbar. McGammon. Down the left side, Mahar Robbins. Larock in front. Cross once again. That bounce shot won't go for Reese Sands. Over and back called on Haudenosaunee. Jaregian will get it on the left side. Over to Narby. Up to the top, Fabian Hall. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Tanabe to the top, Narby. Off the glass and back over. Narby trying to head down the left. Sending it over to Dylan. Down the right, Hall. Misses the pass, as is Nana. Another interception, and he's on the charge. Straight down the middle. Fires it low. Deshaun gets the stop. Rebound picked up by Colter Goodwill. To the top, Jonathan right in front. Firing it low is Nana. Turned away on back-to-back shots by Deshaun. In the corner, Benjamin Dutremont sends a long pass all the way to Landon Dutremont on the right side. Landon Dutremont making his debut on the tournament. Across the floor, it'll land back up at the top. Tayson Knife can't hold on to it. LaRock with the pickup in the corner, and that will do it for the first quarter. Tied at 1 after the first 15. We'll head to a short break. You're watching the IIJL 2026 World Junior Lacrosse Championship. All right, we're just a few seconds away from the second quarter as Australia and Haudenosaunee get ready to go here. 45-minute remain here as Isnana stepping in across from Teregian. Going down the left side. This will end up going off the wall, picked up and sent up to the top. Sands. Across the floor. LaRock. Sending this one over to Jonathan. Missing the stick on that one. Couldn't quite find Hunter McAdam. Running down the left side with it. Chloe's to the top. He'll walk it back out. Quite a discrepancy in shots early here. 16-2 favoring Haudenosaunee. Up at the top. Down to Chinsky. Walking it up is Joe Tanabe. This one stopped and jumped on. Haudenosaunee down the left side. That'll miss the stick of Dayrider. Picking it up at the top, Mahar Robbins. On the right side, Haudenosaunee with the high shot. I believe that went off the crossbar. Deshaun thanking his posts. As we get a whistle here. And it looks like we'll just be restarting from the corner, if I'm seeing this right. Up to the top, Jonathan. He'll find a lane, taking it high, off the shoulder. Down goes Deshawn. And that was a physical play here. And I would assume that they're more than likely going to be taking 2 here, from what I can see. Goalie interference on the initial call, if I were to guess. Or no, they're just taking the Australian player. Deshawn heading to the box. It's going to be a power play for Haudenosaunee. We'll wait for the call on the play here. But Haudenosaunee will take it from the top. They will get a power play with the chance to potentially take the lead. Goodwill will take it down the right side. With it down in the corner. Goodwill around the left to Knife.
Australia penalty to number 47, Isaac Deshawn. 2 minutes for illegal body check.
It's going to be an illegal body check call to Isaac Deshawn as heading down the right side. On the charge, Chloe's waiting for some help. Finds it in Dylan at the top. Quickly followed by Lucid. Down the left side. That pass landing in the corner with John Narby. Back up to the top, Jaregian. Running out of shot clock here. That one goes wide. Shot clock violation on Australia. The offense coming back out for Haudenosaunee. Haudenosaunee, 19 shots so far. Back down low. Goodwill. They will not be able to connect on that pass. Over and back. Called on Haudenosaunee. Tanabe. He'll try and run down the middle with it. Firing this one low. He'll score! Joe Tanabe takes the lead for Australia. The University of Tokyo player getting his first goal of the World Juniors. As we get ready to go again, here is Nana. Will get the win across from Chloe's. On the left side, LaRock. Back to the top. To the corner. Cross from Sands, LaRock. McAmmond won't be able to catch this one. A chance the other way. On the charge comes Narby. One-on-one with LaRock. McAmmond on the back check. Won't get there in time. McAmmond, a long pass to the corner. Finds his captain and Reese Sands up to the top with LaRock. 5 seconds on the power play. Jonathan, cross to Sands. Sands walks in, fires it high. Nichols with the catch on the other side of the net. Mahar Robbins from outside. Deshawn will send that one to Honeyfield after the save. Back up at the top. Shinsky to the right side. Fabian Hall. Cross to Jaregian. Walks in. Blocked in front and turned wide. Tanabe. Up high again. That shot going wide. Luca Dillon can't connect. Heading down the other way. Haudenosaunee. Mahar Robin on the left side. Cutting in is Colter Goodwill. Can't find his stick. Tayson Knife on the other side of the floor. Jonathan trying to fight through that first line of defense. That shot turned away. Sands on the pickup along the wall. Looking back across the floor. Mahar Robbins walking his way in. That'll miss. Trying to hit Reese Sands in front. That long shot turned away again. 10-second shot clock. Ball with Tayson Knife at the top. Walks in, fires it on. Deshaun makes another stop for Australia. They'll head down the right. Fabian Hall at the top, trying to avoid an over and back. Picked up by Narby, straight off the bench. Dredgian to Hall at the top. Tanabe right in front. Narby could not quite turn with the ball. It'll land back in the corner. Back up high. Dredgian wires it on. That'll be redirected to the corner. Up at the top again, Australia. Fresh shot clock for them. Narby spins off that defender. Goes low off the post. Back out. On the outside, Dredgian. Narby with it now. Back to Fabian Hall. That'll end up going back down the floor. Lucid. Following it back to the corner. Getting the pick up, Haudenosaunee. In the corner. Nichols back at the top, 25 seconds. Working off the defender. Chloe's picked back up by the captain. Can't hold on for Haudenosaunee. Billsborough trying to spin his way out through traffic. Ball lands back on the floor. Honeyfield able to get away from two Haudenosaunee attackers. Just barely not able to get over half in time. 10 seconds called on Australia. Nichols will take it at half. Down the left side with Knife. Knife to the top. Long shot picked up by Deshaun. This one sent over half. Now on the left side, straight out of the bench. Joe Tanabe with it. Tanabe down the right side. Joe Tanabe walks into this one, fires it low, Lucid on the pickup. Grabbed once again before being taken right back to Narby. Infraction called on Haudenosaunee. 7:45 to go in the second quarter. Shots 23-8, favoring Haudenosaunee. But Australia with a lead. They're trying to make it two. Dillon won't be able to beat Isvana. Goodwill at the top. He's going to push his way through. Goes low, sliding. Deshaun gets in front of it. Back to the top. Mahar Robbins down the right. Waskawabish. Jonathan back up to Mahar Robbins. Down the left side. Back up to the top. Jonathan walks in. Goes over top of the crossbar. Back over to Mahar Robbins. To Jonathan again. Jonathan trying to pull away. He'll get taken down, as this will get blown down here, and we will get a media timeout with 6:53 to go in the second quarter. Your score is 2-1, favoring Australia over Haudenosaunee. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. Down the right side, Australia. Chinsky with it. Over to Narby. On the corner. Down the right. Fabian Hall. Cross over to Jaregian. He'll walk in. Fakes the shot. Goes down the right. Dylan. Cross the floor. Finds Narby. That bounce pass a little too high. Jaregian. Second try. That'll bounce off the stick of his Nana. Landon back with Carson is Nana. On the right side, McAmmond takes it in, ties it at 2. McAmmond finding his 5th of the World Juniors so far. He has been really solid for Haudenosaunee. On the left side, down the right, Sands charges it through the lane. Deshawn keeps it out. Trying to cut across the slot there was Colter Goodwill. Couldn't get it done. Back down the right side, Jonathan. 20-second shot clock. Nichols tries to walk his way through the lane, but he'll miss just to the left. Jonathan goes low again. Deshawn, another stop for Australia. Lucas Deshawn has stopped 25 of 27 so far here today. Shinsky on the right side. This one turned away, Dylan. Dutremont across half. Has Dylan in front, or excuse me, McAmmond. Mahar Robbins with it at the top. 15 seconds. LaRock couldn't quite hold on. They'll land back with Australia on the left side. Heading back down the floor. This will be back at the top. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Jaregian looking for help. Sends it over to Joe Tanabe. Tanabe down the right. Mahar Robbins. Across the floor, lands on the stick of Ashton Jinsky. Down the left comes Dylan. Nice spin move, goes low, beats the shot clock. Won't beat his Nana. He'll send it back up the floor. Found by Fabian Hall. He can't get the pick up, gets some help as Billsboro out there. And it looks like we're going to see a timeout here for Australia. As Australia tied at 2 here. Shots 27-11. 4:16 still to go in the second quarter. Australia playing Haudenosaunee. Real close so far, and a big part of that has been Lucas Deshawn. Really has been shining in between the pipes early. On the other side, Draven is Nana. Has been terrific as well. A lower amount of volume, but Australia with a lot of high danger chances that have been turned away. Without Deshawn's plan, you got to think if Australia can get their offense going a little bit more efficiently, they could really start to run away with this game. Up at the top, Joe Tanabe. On the outside, Jaregian. Tanabe down the right, Fabian Hall. Across the floor to Jaregian again. Back up to the top. That'll miss the stick of Hall. It's over and back on Australia. Boys couldn't get the pick up. Haudenosaunee will get the ball. Goodwill down the right. Mick Hammond, the crude player, looking for an option on the left. He'll end up sending it over to Knife. Knife has Goodwill in front, hits Mick Hammond. Mick Hammond through center, fires it on, he'll score! Mick Hammond with his second of the game. Haudenosaunee starting to get the ball past Lucas Deshawn. Deshawn has been a brick wall in the first half, but that lead is a very important one. That's center. This will be knocked back to Hall. Trying to swat that one back down the right. Picked up. Lose it. In the corner now. He'll wait for it. LaRock with it. Down the right. Sands had plenty of speed, but he couldn't get the shot off. Slipped off his stick. Back to the top. Jonathan fakes the behind the back. Won't fire. He'll go back to the wall to pick it up. 8 seconds. Running out of clock. LaRock on the blast from up high. Lands back out with Chloe's. That's a heavy hit. As we've got a power play coming up for Australia. As a few hits being thrown around. 2 Australian players hitting the ground. Things getting physical here in the second quarter. As we get another look at that penalty here. It looks like it'll be a cross-check or a hit from behind. We'll wait and see what the official call is. Looks like a cross-check. It'll just be the one penalty to Haudenosaunee. Australia will get the ball up at the top. 2:41 to go in the first half. They'll spend the first 2 minutes of it on the power play. Down the right. Up at the top. Dillon. In front, Hall. Dillon down the middle. This one popping up to the top. Haudenosaunee across half. Knife now down the left. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. 1:15 on the power play. Haudenosaunee trying to waste it down. 10 seconds on their shot clock. Jonathan misses on that pass. It'll bounce back, landing with Nathan Honeyfield, who's going to go for a run down the right. Taking this one in for Australia. Has to pull back out of the corner. 55 seconds on it. Their power play. Hall with it. Down the left side, Dillon. This will end up with John Narby. Back to Dillon. Down the left. Jaregian, Narby, Dillon. Loads up. Cross to Hall. That will go off the post and out. Shot, or no, they're going to reset the shot clock after it goes off the post. Over and back called off as Hall has it at the top. Over to Dillon. Waiting for help. Hall Down the left to Dylan. He'll get it back. Screen from Narby. Dylan down the middle. Dredgian. He'll score. Australia ties it at 3 with 48 seconds to go in the first half. Right at the end of their power play. Adam Dredgian. He finds his 4th goal of the World Juniors. They'll step into the draw. Up at the top, along the boards, Haudenosaunee trying to go down the left side, popped off. Loosened stick, it'll land back on the right. Hall gets it over the half line. Few players hitting the ground. As it looks like we've got both penalty boxes opening. Lucid heading to the box, as well as Jackson Chloe's. .29 seconds to go. We'll wait to see what the call ends up being here. 4-on-4. Australia not necessarily too happy about it, as one could assume they probably wanted a power play here. Does not look like they're going to get it. Is Nana up at the top. Dredgian across from him. Face off 1 for Australia. Infraction by Haudenosaunee on the left side. They'll get the last possession of this one. Shot clocks have been turned off. 15 seconds. Fabian Hall to the top. Fires it on. It's going to end up getting popped back up to Hall. Another long shot. He'll score. Fabian Hall with the buzzer beater. Australia will take the lead at the end of the first half with only 2.6 seconds left on the clock. Dredgian stepping in across from Knife at the top. Down the left side, and that will do it. 30 minutes have come and gone here between Australia and Haudenosaunee. We'll head to our halftime break. Your score, 4-3 after a last-second goal by Australia, giving them the lead. We'll see how Haudenosaunee responds in the second half in just a little bit. You're watching the 2026 IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. All right, we're about to get back underway here. Haudenosaunee and Australia. 4-3, favoring Australia after what was a very solid ending to the first half, scoring with, I think, 2.8 seconds left on the clock off a long shot from Fabian Hall. Haudenosaunee now needing to respond. And it does look like both teams making changes in between the pipes. As on the right side, Australia gets set up. Haudenosaunee in front, Knife trying to go through the lane, spins back out, long shot turned away by Darcy Martin Liptak, who has stepped in between the pipes for Australia. This will go all the way back down the floor, picked up by Caius Lalonde. Lalonde crossed to half. That'll get found by Jaregian, trying to spin off Jonathan down the left side. Up at the top. Dylan down the left side. Jaregian. He'll take a whack and get the steal, or no. They're going to call him on the slash. As we'll be heading to some 4-on-3, or no, it's going to be a holding call. It will not be a slash. Landon Dutremont steps into the box. We'll get 4-on-3 for 27 seconds before a minute 33 of just regular power play time for Australia. Back to the top, long shot, Fabian Hall off the post, off the goalie and out. Jaregian back along the wall, gets the pickup. He'll walk it in down the right. Fabian Hall won't shoot. Dylan back to the top. His shot blocked. Turned back over to Fabian Hall with a behind-the-back pass. Hall gets the pickup. He's going to run it in. He'll fire. He'll score. Fabian Hall scored to give Australia the lead at the end of the first half. He'll get the first one of the second as well. Australia taking a 2-goal lead. Because I believe that makes 4 points on the night so far for Fabian Hall. That'll be his third goal as an assist to his name as well. As they're waiting to get that penalty off the board so that we can get back to 5-on-5. Narby taking this one over the half. Into the corner. Adam Jaregian for Australia. They want to keep building on their new lead. On the outside, Fabian Hall to Narby. Jaregian. Back outside to Fabian Hall. Another long shot. And whistles wide. Picked up by Knife. Stolen back by Narby. In front. Here comes Australia. Dylan gets the shot off. Gets taken out after the shot. No call on the play as Haudenosaunee breaks out. Dutremont. Mahar Robbins will hand this one off to Sands. Across the floor. Going Mahar Robbins. Cutting it down the lane is Jonathan. Couldn't hold on to that one. Australia trying to break out, picked off by Sands. 2-on-1 for Haudenosaunee. Sands fires it high, rebound for Goodwill. Can't grab it in time. As play gets blown down here. It looked like there was 2 balls on the floor, and that might have been why things were stopped here, because there was some confusion there. It looks like Haudenosaunee is ready to go now. Back in the corner. LaRock to the top. Cross to McAmmond. McAmmond back over to Mahar Robbins. Down the left side. He'll dive for it. And it'll stay out. Not quite able to beat Martin Liptak. Up to the top. Sawamura to Tanabe. Down the right, Fabian Hall. Fires it on the lawn. Stops him. Down the right side. Nichols trying to set something up. Haudenosaunee with an option in front. Goodwill goes for the twister. He'll get it. Haudenosaunee back within 1. Colter Goodwill gets his second of the game. Jaregian is going to get ready to step in across from his Nana. This face-off will be won by Haudenosaunee, heading down the right side. Lucid handing this one off. Reese Sands at the top, passing him back behind the goal. Picked up by Knife off the backboards. Goes in, ties it at 5. Tayson Knife gets his first of the World Juniors. And Knife able to just grab the pass, or I suppose you could call it a pass on the shot that went off the back of the board, straight back out, landing on his stick. Completely left untouched, right in front of the goaltender. Tanabe heading back the other way for Australia, trying to avoid it over and back. He'll send it over to Narby on the left side. Colter Goodwill getting an assist on that one, adding to his total on the game. Into the corner. Tanabe along the wall. Has to fire. Blocked and turned away. Heading down the floor with it. Haudenosaunee. Jonathan has it. Sending it across the floor. Trying to do something from the top. Fakes the shot. Down the right side they go. In front. Sands couldn't quite hold on. Heading the other way, Narby. He's going to run in on the attack. Back behind the goal, able to hold on. Trying to walk it back up the right side. Narby charges in off the post. We've got a hand in the air here. It looks like Australia is going to be heading to the power play. It's going to be a slash. Australia able to score on their last power play. We'll see what they can do here. As you get another look at that try there. In on the goal by John Narby. Solid solo effort from the Australian. It'll start up back at the top. Dillon down the right. They'll work their way back across the arc. Hall to Dillon. Down the left to Narby. Back up high Dillon. He'll swap spots with Narby. Walking in. Dillon Jaregian won't be able to put away the one-timer to land back in the corner. Getting a few whacks. Long shot. Jaregian goes all the way across the floor. Lalonde on the stop. That a long pass will get sent back into the corner and picked up by Lucid. Haudenosaunee has to give it up as Australia will get the ball in the offensive zone here. Adam Jaregian going to pick it up. Hall down the right, Chinsky. Back over to Hall. They keep working around. Long shot picked up by Jaregian along the wall. Has to battle for it. He's going to get some help as Australia holds on with their power play. Chinsky to the corner. Tanabe back to the top. Hall. 35 seconds to go on the power play. 15 on the shot clock. Firing low. Lalonde gets the stop. Lalonde shaking his hand after that last save, as looks like it might have caught him somewhere where the equipment did not protect him. Jonathan up at the top with it, trying to head down the right side. Wasting down what's left of the power play. Jonathan needing to do something with it. Up high, Nichols. Running out of shot clock. Can't get it to McAmmond in time as they'll run out of time. Australia heading down the left side. Leaving the bench. That's going to be Mahar Robbins. We're back at even strength as Haudenosaunee able to survive that power play. We get a whistle here as a player is down on the floor. It looks like that's Mahar Robbins for Haudenosaunee. As the trainer is going to come out and make sure that he's all right here and can get him the help that he needs. $7:12 to go in the third quarter, as we'll see Mahar Robbins able to get up with the help of his Nana and the Haudenosaunee trainer here, as they'll help him off the floor. Hopefully we get to see him again later in this game. Australia will take it on the outside. Back to the top, Tanabe. In front, Hall. Narby with it in the corner for Australia. Tanabe firing it on. Good stop, Lalonde. Down low. Hall trying to get the pickup. He'll end up down. Narby goes low. Australia scores. They'll take the lead once again. 6-5. And Narby able to just get the easy pickup and score. Fabian Hall was down in the slot, distracting the two defenders, I think. And I think he's more than happy with how that worked out. Shots have evened up, more or less, at least compared to where they were earlier in the game, as Haudenosaunee at 33, Australia up to 25. A very different look to what we were looking at in the first and even a large majority of the second quarter. As down in the corner, Goodwill taking a few whacks. Back outside. A long pass will go up to Chloe's.
Unassisted at the time, 8 minutes, 10 seconds. Narby, unassisted at 8:10.
Narby on the left side to Jaregian. Screen from Hall. Down the right, Australia running out of time, can't get a shot off. Lalonde will send it down the right side. Haudenosaunee getting their offense out there. Back up at the top. That'll get grabbed by Martin Liptak. Sending a long pass over the half line. McAmmond. Picked up by Australia. They'll start to head down the floor. Higgins sending this one over to Tanabe. Tanabe down the left side, defended by Lucid. Back up to the top. Fabian Hall to the outside, Australia. Back to the top, Tanabe. Narby now runs down the right, gets a lane, fires it on Lalonde. He'll get the tip, sending it back down the other way. Australia will get to keep their offense on the floor with a fresh shot clock. Narby down the left side. Into the corner. Jaregian taking a few whacks in the arm as he sends it back to the top. 10 seconds. Fabian Hall, his shot turned away. Sawamura gets the pickup. Fresh shot clock, Australia. Fabian Hall down the left side into the corner. Swapping spots. Tanabe and that was Jaregian as they'll go back to the top. Sawamura. Jaregian again. Screen Narby. Walking in. He'll score. Adam Jaregian puts Australia up by 2. That's going to be Jaregian's second of the game as Australia continues to work to maintain this lead over Haudenosaunee. Down the right side, Haudenosaunee. Reese Sands setting it down to the left. He'll fake the pass. Mahar Robbins with a blast from outside, making his return for the first time since going down earlier this quarter. Sands up at the top. Braden Sands to Mahar Robbins. To Jonathan on the right. Cutting through the lane, goes high. It'll end up going wide. Australia can't get the pickup. Haudenosaunee back on the outside. LaRock. Cross to Jonathan. Taking it to the corner. Looking for options. He'll try the shot himself. Missing just to the left. That'll roll back down the floor. .247 to go in the third quarter. Chinsky picking it up for Australia. Tanabe going down the left. Right in front, Tanabe is going to walk in, fires this one. Picked up by Hall on the right. Across the middle. Running to try and get the pickup was Fabian Hall. Chance the other way, Haudenosaunee. Dutremont down the left. With Lucid right in front. Walks in, goes high, he'll score. Richie Lucid gets his first of the World Juniors. As the defender gets a big one for Haudenosaunee. They'll both step back in, Narby and Isnana. Narby on the pickup. With it, crossing the half line. Canny into the corner. Back up at the top. Hall trying to out-muscle Foys. He'll end up going low. Picked up by Dutremont. They'll head down the right. Taking it in on the attack. Down the left side. This will get walked across the middle. Going down the left side is Goodwill. Trying to spin with the ball. He'll lose it in the process. Australia picking it up down low. And they'll send it down the floor. Honeyfield running after it. And it'll get picked back up. Is Nana for Haudenosaunee. Down the right side. With it right in front. That'll end up sneaking its way back to the corner. Australia trying to get the steal. It'll get picked up by LaRock to the top. He'll fire. He'll score. Haudenosaunee tie it at 7. And that's going to be LaRock's first goal of the game so far. His third so far on World Juniors. Jaredjian and his Nana once again. Ball hits the ground. It'll get picked up by Billsboro. Jaredjian. 30 seconds left on the game clock. 20 seconds left on the shot. They'll have it up at the top. Australia over to Tanabe. Jaredjian swaps with Tanabe down the right. 15 seconds to go on the game. 8 on the shot. Tanabe across the middle. Won't get this one off in time. Fabian Hall, odd angle shot. It'll connect with the goaltender. 8.3 seconds. They'll head the other way. Down the right side, 4 to go. Taking it to the corner, picked up by Australia, running with it behind their own goal, and that will do it for the third quarter. 7-7 with 15 minutes, all that's left. You're watching Haudenosaunee and Australia here at the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship here in Brooks, Alberta. as we get back underway here for the fourth quarter, 15 minutes. All that is left. 7-7. Tied between Australia and Haudenosaunee. Jumping in, Jonathan down the right side. Not able to hit the net on that one. They'll head the other way, Jaregian. In down the left side. Dylan working off the defender, back up to the top. Chinsky. They're trying to set up on the near side. Sawmura waiting for a screen. Trying to hit Chinsky, cutting down the middle. Won't find him. Dayrider on the pickup. Up high. Handing it off. Larocque to Knife. Knife across the floor finds Mahar Robbins. Back down the left. Walking in, Goodwill. Puts it on. Good stop. Martin Liptak. Gonna put this one right off the Jumbotron. Back up at the top, Goodwill. Fires, he'll score! Colter Goodwill gets the hat trick. Haudenosaunee takes the lead early here in the fourth quarter. On the near side, Dutremont. He'll walk into an Australian triple team here along the wall. Stolen back by Australia. Deshawn. Tanabe. Up at the top. Chinsky down the left. Back along the wall. To the top, Chinsky. Walks in, fires it. Turned away, Australia. Still with the ball down the left. Narby. Right in front, Hall behind the back shot. That'll end up going out of play. Heading back the other way. Sands wanted the ball. Behind the goal, didn't get it. Haudenosaunee taking a slower approach. Knife down the left. To the top. Firing this one on. Martin Liptak on the stop. They'll head down the middle. Chloe's with it. They'll head down the right with Hall. 10-second shot clock. Down the right side now. Sawmura running out of shot clock. Chance the other way. This pass not caught by Goodwill. McAmmond puts a little bit too much on it. Larocque has to go to the corner to get it. Back up to the top, McAmmond. Down to the corner. Jonathan fakes by Billsborough. Puts that one off the crossbar and into the netting. Haudenosaunee. Goodwill setting a few screens as it's taken back up to the right. In the corner. That long shot turned away. Right in front, it'll get picked up. Taken back along the outside. Diving for it, they'll score! No, they will not. As they'll say, he took a step in the crease. and it will not count. The lead will stay at 1 for Haudenosaunee. Australia at the top. Chinsky down the left. Up to Narby. This one fired wide. Heading it back down the floor, Haudenosaunee is Nana. Up at the top. Knife with it. Down the right. Sands off the bench. The captain off the screen. Fires it on. He'll score. Haudenosaunee's captain, Reese Sands, gives them a 2-goal lead. That's point number 2 for Reese Sands so far on the game. Had an assist already. Picking up a big goal with just 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Haudenosaunee down the left side, handing this one off. LaRock. Back up to the top, LaRock. Missing on that pass. It'll go past Nichols. Back into the corner. Down low. Getting the pickup along the wall. This one fired on, turned away by Martin Liptak. Back down the left side, Jaregian. Down the right. Hall. Chinsky. Back into the corner. He's going to run down the middle. Narby gets the shot off. Heading the other way is Lucid. He'll have a chance to put them up by 3. Martin Liptak shuts the door. Back over half. Jaregian taking it down the left side. That one stopped. Picked up by Ashton Chinsky. Down the left side. Long shot. Turned away. Samira. Lalonde making the stop, but it went out of play. We'll see Fabian Hall get the pickup for Australia in the corner. Trying to push his way through 2 defenders. Will lose the ball. Get it back. Spin off. Chinsky back up to the top. Jaregian fakes the shot down the left side. 15 seconds. Fires it just wide. Chinsky. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Up to Hall. Hall passes it inside. Picked off. Here the other way comes is Nana. Down the middle. Fires it. He'll score. Is Nana. Gives Haudenosaunee a 3-goal lead. Knife and Chloe's get ready to go. 3 goals the difference. It'll get rolled back into the Australia zone. Deshawn not able to pick up. Narby can't either. Goodwill coming in. Gets it for Haudenosaunee. They'll hand it off to Knife down the left side. As we'll see this one blown down. Cross check coming up. Power play coming up for Australia at a real good time. Down by 3. With 7 minutes to go, Australia needs to score here. And it looks like they're still trying to figure out what's going on here. Both goalies will head back to their creases. The power play thrown up on the board. Australia will get 2 minutes to see what they can try and get here. Moving their way around the zone, Australia.
Penalty number 77, Colter, Goodwill. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
And Goodwill's going to sit for 2 minutes here. Dylan. It'll be cross-checking. Hall. That'll get turned away by Lalonde. Stuck along the wall. Taken back by Australia. 4-on-3 down the left side. Foy's getting back in time. Up at the top, Narby down the right. Hall to the top. Into the corner once again. Around the outside. Australia to the top once again. Dylan stopped by Lalonde. It'll go out of play. Australia ball. Back to the outside. 1:10 left on the power play. To the top, Dylan. Down the left side. Back to Dylan. Fabian Hall. He'll score again. Hall's 4th of the game. Australia back within 2. Capitalizing on the power play. They'll get ready to go here. Knife in the draw across from Jeregian. Another penalty is coming up here. 2 minutes thrown back on the board. Haudenosaunee back in the box. Australia will get another chance here to close in this lead. Goodwill taken down. Australia trying to get the pickup in their defensive zone. It'll go back to Haudenosaunee.
Australia goal, power play goal, scored by number 83, Fabian Hall. Assist number 19, John Narby.
Back down the left side, Knife setting up. Stopped by Australia.
Penalty number 3, Alexander Foys. 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Penalty to Foys is going to be cross-checking. Narby with it at the top for Australia. Dillon. Down the left. Walks in. Fires it on. Good stop. Trying to head back down the floor. Lucid. They're going to hold up before sending it down the left. Haudenosaunee wasting down as much time on the power play as they can. 4:30 to go. Down the right, through the lane. Puts it just over top of the net, running out of shot clock. Jonathan looking hurt as Deshaun helps him off the floor. In the corner, Australia sets up the offense. Hall down the left side, Dillon. Back to Dillon at the top. Walks off the screen, fires it on over top of the net. Picked up. They'll head the other way. Isnana trying to outrun Jeregian. Puts it on, he'll score. Haudenosaunee back up by 3. Carson Isnana, 4 points on the night for him. His second goal. Jeregian wins it back along the Australia bench. Picked up by Haudenosaunee. Knife heading the other way. Chance for Dutremont, but they couldn't find him. Over and back called on Haudenosaunee. The other way. Jeregian knocked off his stick. Trying to head back the other way. Australia. Knife on the right side, right in front, going low. Dutremont could not beat Martin Liptak. Martin Liptak down the right side. Not too happy about that attacker hitting his stick. He's still arguing with the referee about it. Jeregian on the right side. At the top, Chinsky. Down the middle. Firing it on. Australia back within 2. John Narby. Isnana is going to step into the draw here across from Jackson Chloe's.
Australia goal scorer number 19, John Narby. Assist number 55, Luca Dillon. Time to goal, 11 minutes, 48.
Down the left side, Lucid. Along the boards they go. To the top, Braden Sands. Into the corner. Mahar Robbins. Behind the back pass, down low. Off the screen, Larocque. Jonathan picking it up now. He'll just push that one back into the corner. Chloe's taking it down the right side. 2:30 to go in this one. Chinsky at the top. Into the corner. Chinsky again down the right. Tanabe. He'll miss the net as Haudenosaunee goes the other way. 2:07 left in this one. Australia running out of time to come back. It's going to be given back to Haudenosaunee, I believe. at the top. Mahar Robbins down the right side. They'll walk in, firing it. He'll score. Braden Sands. Haudenosaunee refusing to give any room to Australia. Back up by 3. .145 left in it here. Dredgian wins the draw down the left side.
That's number 12, Robbins. Time to go 13 minutes and 16 seconds.
Dredgian up to Chinsky. On the left side, walking in. Narby spinning through the lane, back out to Sawmura. To the top, Paul. Fires this one on. Picked up, Haudenosaunee. A minute to go. Down the right. Reese Sands trying to pick it up down low. The captain able to hold on through the traffic. He'll find a lane down the right. Goes over top of the net. 45 seconds to go. 10-second shot clock. Nichols back behind the goal. He'll take it around the zone. Back up the right. Shot clock called on Haudenosaunee. Down the right. Tanabe. On the left side. Less than 10 seconds to go. Australia. Sawmura now. 8 seconds. Fabian Hall walking it to the top. Fires it wide. That'll be a shot clock violation called on Haudenosaunee. And that will do it. Haudenosaunee win 12-9. And assuming I understand the standings well enough here, they are going to move on to face Poland in the bronze medal. Which does mean that we do know our matchups. In the gold, the U.S. and Canada. In the bronze, Haudenosaunee and Poland. Both of those games tomorrow to close out the World Juniors. Martin Liptak and Caius Lalonde leading both of their teams down the line. And we're going to get ready to go here as the Loading Lacrosse players of the game are coming up. Brought to you by SportSide, source for sports. Haudenosaunee lining up in front of their restraining line. Australia doing the same on the other side.
Here are tonight's Logan Lacrosse source for sports players of the game. For Australia, number 83, Fabian Hall.
No surprise there. Fabian Hall getting player of the game for Australia. Very well deserved. One heck of an offensive performance for him.
Haudenosaunee, number 77, Colter Goodwill.
Another. No shocker on that one. Goodwill with a hat trick to his name, joining Fabian Hall up there. And with that, we'll get ready for the playing of the Haudenosaunee National Anthem.
Sanu tende sugaya disa e tanu ni engwa esta o wenjage na jo ho dia get again ha de honchi kwais Wadu kwaya di gase and wado and hagin hagaya nagwetage disa unu kwase iwado yo hajine yo hajine yo hajine yo hajine yo hajine yo yeah.
All right, that'll do it for us here at Day 5 of the IIJL World Junior Lacrosse Championship. Tomorrow, we've got Medal Day. It's going to be Haudenosaunee taking on Poland at 5 p.m. That's the bronze medal. And then at 8, it's the U.S. and Canada finishing us off with the gold medal. Make sure to tune in for all of it right here. I've been Simon Chaskovsky. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Make sure to have yourself a good night.